Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Vanessa and you're watching the Exploring Oracle, or the Exploracle for short. So if this is your first time here, what I usually do is I just show you a deck from my personal collection and we talk about it. I show you all of the cards, talk about the card stock, and all of those things. And I do have timestamps down below if you're just interested in a particular part. Feel free to click on the link in the description down below. So today we will be taking a look at this deck. This is an indie deck called Tarot Disassembled. This is by Jennifer Cooper Steedley, ferociousinc.com. And this has been in my collection for more than a year now, but I haven't really used it to its full potential. So this is what the box looks like, and this is what the inside, So I'm not sure if it's focusing, but it says, "May these cards illuminate the shadows and lovingly guide you through the dark, much like the light of the moon." So that's what it says in the inside of the box. There is a separate printed guidebook for this, but if you just get the deck, you can also download the guidebook from her website. Now, there's supposed to be a QR code somewhere, but my deck didn't have that, but I reached out to her on Instagram and she was very responsive and I got my guidebook very, very quickly. But actually, I'm very tempted to get the printed guidebook, and later on we'll discuss it. But for now, these are the cards. They are reversible. It is in this really good quality matte cardstock. Really beautiful colors. I got distracted, but it snaps back quite well, so really good quality cardstock. But it does have a little bit of a rose petal finish, which I am not fond of, but it's not super sticky rose petal, so I can work with it. And then it is edged in this really lovely dark red orange color. I'm trying to match it with my bracelet, but I don't have one exactly this color. But yeah, I love edging on my decks. If I could edge all of my decks, I would. I just don't have the time to do all of it, and I do have a lot of decks. But gilding, I'm not always a fan of, but edging, super, super love it. And yeah, so let's take a closer look. I'm a little bit disorganized today, I'm sorry guys, but let's zoom in and take a closer look at all of the cards. Alright, so this deck has been with me for quite some time now, almost a year or over a year, but I don't remember if I've already shuffled it, because if you can see, it mostly focuses on the symbols that you would see on a typical RWS deck. And how I usually work with this deck is I use it side by side with my RWS and use it as a study deck. And I feel like I'm not using this deck to its full potential if I continue to do that, because I did get bored of that practice quite quickly. And I haven't really been pulling out this deck or doing that study with my RWS, so I haven't been using it, and it's such a shame. And look at it, it's just, anyway, looking at the cards, the colors are bright and bold. Basically, you just have the symbols of the card, of the typical RWS on the card. Hold on, let me just quickly get an RWS. Okay, so I have an RWS deck here, and this is what I usually do with this deck. It's basically, I have the Tarot Disassembled and an RWS, and I kind of like match the symbols as I go through them. So I'll be showing off the rest of the major arcana with the Tarot Disassembled, and then we'll just focus on this again. So yeah, so you have the pillars. Basically, I was doing that, but I wasn't I think I just got through the majors, and then that's it. I didn't use it again after that. But it is a good study deck if you have the patience for it. I obviously do not. And yeah, and the colors on this deck is really bright, really beautiful. It's very unique. There are no people here. So I really wanted to read with it, and that's the reason why I took it out. And before I started using it, I just wanted to to show you the deck in its right order before, you know, just to save time. Because when I do these flip throughs, I always reorder my tarot decks before I show them if I've already used them before. So just to save on that particular step, I am doing this flip through or showing you the cards before I shuffle and use the deck. And you know, I really want to do it. It's going to be one of my decks for Yule or this December. So I am excited to show you so that I can already start using it. So it's cool, right? I'm now looking at it again, I'm like but basically you have even the position of the hands, chains, the tower. Then you have the star. So I don't mind the border on this deck. I think it's well done because and I love that the colors are different on almost every card. And okay, so I'll just set my RWS to the side so it doesn't fall. And then let's focus on this deck again. So it's Ace of Wands, 2. I like the layout, you know, even with the borders. I can't imagine it borderless actually, because since you're just showing off the symbols on the card, it's best for me to have it contained in that border. And then you have the name of the card at the bottom. Now, I know I mentioned it, but the colors here are just so stunning. And I really appreciate that it doesn't have people on the deck. I normally don't like having too many people on my deck. That's why I have a lot of animal decks, nature-based decks. And this is one of them. You know, you don't see people on this deck. And so if you're like me and you're drawn to these types of decks, you know, the more or you don't like people on your deck too much, then you would probably also enjoy this. Now, I believe my copy is the first edition. I think there is a second edition out right now on her website. I'm not too sure what the difference is. But she also has an Oracle deck. I think it's a Tarot Assembled. I forgot. She had a Kickstarter. I really wanted to back it, but at the time I didn't have the funds for it, and it's now on my list of decks to purchase. But it's a long list, so eventually hopefully I will get to it. 10 of Cups. So I think one of the cards that I love the most that don't have people in them would be the 10 of Cups. So at least the 10 cups are there, the rainbow, and like a symbol of a happy home, but no couple and kids. The Knight. As always, feel free to slow down, speed up, or pause if you want to take a closer look at the cards. Two of Swords, Three of Swords. Because of the rose petal finish, it does tend to stick a little bit, which is why I don't really like this cardstock as much, but it does feel really good on the hand actually. It feels luxe and feels premium, which is I think why most creators do use this cardstock, because it does feel really luxe in the hand. And I'm sorry if you are hearing some weird noises. My neighbors upstairs are moving their furniture around at this time of night, so and I think it's being picked up by the mic. King of Swords, and then you go to the Pentacles. Five of Pentacles. Okay, so I zoomed out and let's see how this deck shuffles. So for the riffle, I think it riffles just fine. It is a little bit stiff because again, I haven't really shuffled this deck much or at all because I've been using it more for study. So I'm sure that this would get even better the more I work with it, which I am excited to do. Okay. But because of the finish, the rose petal, the overhand does tend to come. And I just have to like really exert a little bit more effort into it or shuffle it a little bit more. And usually with rose petal decks, rose petal finish decks, it does get better the more you work with them. So hopefully this becomes more slippery as time goes by. It's not too bad actually. It's not a really sticky rose petal, so I don't mind it. Okay, so let's just see if we can get a jumper, or maybe we can just read for this one. The Star. So yeah, so before we read for this card, I wanted to show you what the guidebook looks like. So I do have it on my iPad. So here, let me just show you the table of contents. So you have an introduction, some exercises and spreads, then it goes to the meanings of the cards. And what I like about this deck, so basically it tells you how you can use the deck, and this is what I was using it for, like a study buddy. So it's with another RAAS deck. And then you have some spreads. You have the glossary of common symbols, which I really like. So before you even go into the actual cards themselves, you do have a glossary of all of the common symbols that you would see. So you have here the lily, the lemniscate, which is the infinity symbol. And then after the glossary, sorry, you might be getting dizzy. Then you go into the meanings of the cards themselves, which has a thumbnail, the keywords, the astrological associations, planetary associations, elemental associations. Then you go into the actual symbols of the cards that you can see on the card, and then the quick take or the meaning or the message. And that's how it is for all of the cards in the deck, which I really like, even the minors. And so let's find the Star. So for the Star, it's quite lengthy. So for the Star, the keywords are hope, inspiration, healing, optimism, faith, rejuvenation, peace, wish, manifestation, despair, disconnection, and lack of faith. So even the reverse keywords are there. And then you have the astrological association of Aquarius, the planetary association of Uranus, elemental association of air, and then you have the symbols, the 8-pointed star, which is for hope, guidance, balance, the flowers, which is for hope, new growth, happiness, beauty, unfolding, renewal, cycles, and love. You have the green land for abundance and growth. And then ibis, I think that's the bird. Freedom, unrestricted, possibility, ascension, enlightenment, lightness, messenger, wisdom, magic, and writing. So I'm just reading the keywords, but there is more text in each entry. And you have the jugs, which is the element of water, emotions, intuition, receptivity, and the feminine principle. The tree for growth, lushness, potential, sustainability, expansion, ascension, and time. And then for water, emotions, life, abundance, purification, depth, intuition, and subconscious. And for the quick takes, your wish is granted. Dream big. Have faith that everything will turn out wonderfully. Good news is coming, creative inspiration, being an inspiration to others, healing on all levels, healing professions, purification rituals, studying astrology, take time for self-care, spend time in or near water to rejuvenate, take a bath, seek help or guidance in feeling hopeless. Your faith is being tested. So, for the quick takes, they are mostly just like key phrases are associated. So I think this guidebook really shines with how it talks about the symbolism that you find in the deck. And that's why initially I was using it more as a study buddy than actually reading for myself with it. But again, I was called to use it more for readings, and that's what I want to use it for next, because it looks great laid out because of the colors, because it's quite unique, and I really like it. I will be linking down below where I got this deck. I got it from a store here in the Philippines, but I'll also link Jennifer's website so that you can, if you're interested, if you want to take a look at this deck. Okay, so that has been the flip through of, I can't find the box. Oh, here. That has been the flip through of the Tarot Disassembled by Jennifer Cooper Steedley. And I hope you find this video helpful. Don't forget to click on the like button and to consider subscribing to my channel. See you again next time. Bye!